And Gary,
Hello.
what's going on?
Gosh, it's been the weekend of the work Christmas party. So Friday evening we went out. We had a lot to drink. Went to have a Chinese meal. Got very drunk. Well, actually, to be fair, it wasn't too bad. I came home in one piece, and I've been in worse situations, to be honest. But yeah, we had a really good time.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, Lisa had a Christmas work party, and she went out as well. So yeah, it's been an okay weekend. You know,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Friday being our last day before Christmas, and then I can sort of relax and
Yeah, well,
enjoy the holidays.
I come in that Monday just before Christmas, but
Oh,
I'm okay
no.
with it though. Yeah, I could have taken it, but I'm okay with it. It's gonna
Yeah.
it's dead. Like the traffic is non-existent. It's just a
Yeah.
it's like a
I can imagine.
freebie. But
Yeah.
I had my holiday party on Friday. I didn't go to it though. I mean, I've been with the
Right.
company for 13 years. I know you're more. It's a newer experience with you and your company.
Yeah. Before that, I'd been with my company for 12 years before I moved to this new one. I work for a university now.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you see, it's fresh, and I know you work with a couple of buds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just didn't want to go to mine. Usually everybody gets drunk, and then you hear about what happened when you come back. I have no time for any of that nonsense. But yeah, man, it's fun to see like how everybody's going away. And this week's going to be a little busy because we have a couple of children's parties, bringing kids to work for holiday, and it's fun to see kids running around, and the traffic's lessening, and everything is starting to slow down.
Yeah, I start to feel Christmassy when everything's been wrapped. You know, you can sit down in front of the television, nice and snug on the sofa with your cover over you, or with the fire roaring, and you can just sort of chill and relax.
Yeah.
And just know everything's sort of taken care of. You know, until then, I can't. You know, knowing there's a week of work between now and Christmas, and sort of as much as I like work, I can't really get into the festive spirit yet. I've not
Yeah.
even wrapped all the presents yet.
Oh yeah, me neither. Well, my wife does that, but
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I don't know what it is. I'm getting a little better, but
You should get Chris to do it. Isn't he a rapper? Sorry, terrible joke there.
I was just thinking, I started playing video games a little more around the holidays, and
Yeah, me too.
I was looking at this one from Capcom, Resident Evil 2. It's a remake of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, what console's that on?
It's gonna be on, I believe, all the big ones like PS4, Xbox One. It might come to Switch. I'm not sure.
I doubt it will be initially. Is it just me, or are these days like the Xbox and the PS? Aren't they just sort of indistinguishable, really?
Yeah.
In many ways. You know,
No,
in
it's
terms of
pretty
games.
much, yeah. It's no, the Switch is just a little less powerful than them. The Switch has a powerful graphics card. All the graphics cards are pretty much like the cards that are inside the computers now.
Yeah.
So they can all play each other's games. The PS3 was hard to write for because it had different cores, or it had different insides to it.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons they couldn't emulate it on the PS4, supposedly. But
Right.
this game, Resident Evil 2, they were showing a side-by-side with like Claire Redfield and Ada Wong, and just to see Mr. X, when the big like the Nemesis type.
Like the tyrant thing.
Yeah, he just like falls down into the Raccoon Police Department, and the way they depict him in this new reiteration of this game is insane. It's scary because you'll be in another room or a few rooms, away, and you'll hear doo, doo, doo. So he's coming after you,
Yeah.
and it keeps. It's sort of like Resident Evil 7, where I was
Yeah.
playing it, and one of the characters, no matter how many times you kill him, he'll get up and he'll keep chasing you. It reminded me of that. It keeps the tension on, and it's like you. Usually, what I used to take, I guess, comfort with was in the Resident Evil. If you go into a certain room, you could sit there and figure out a puzzle, and you had all the time you need because the zombies are in the other room, and you're not going to go into that room unless you need to get something. But with this, it's like real life where you don't have much time getting away from the enemies. You'll be in another room, and they're this tyrant will start coming after you. And it was showing the scenes back to back and all. There's a lot of the lickers, they call them, I believe, the ones with long tongue.
Yeah.
They're in there. Everything is in there, and they look sick. It looks incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at snapshots of it now. It looks pretty impressive.
And
it's strange how they've gone back though and picked that one, isn't it?
Yeah, they probably just wanted to, because that's where everything really exploded and started. They might even go back to 1, but I know that this one, they put it in line with the newer ones, with the graphics and the storyline. But the way it immerses you and keeps the tension going. On YouTube, there's 2 versions. There's the beginning part with Leon, where he's coming into the the police department. Then there's a version with Claire Redfield, where she's getting chased by the tyrant. But then there's also, it's not a demo, but there was another one that they put out with Ada Wong, and it was showing the comparisons of the original to the remake, and it was just incredible.
Sounds amazing, man. Are you getting it, or have you already got it?
So I'm gonna get it. It's coming out, I think, in January or February. So it's like one of those you have to wait for. But I will be getting it, yeah.
Is there any games on the Switch sort of attracted your attention at all?
Well, my daughter, she really likes Uno, so I bought her Uno. She knows how to play it.
Yep.
My sister just got her husband the Switch, so they can play with my daughter on the Uno. I have the Zelda. I haven't opened the Zelda yet. I finished the Mario Odyssey. I'm really waiting for Metroid 4.
Yeah.
And I want them to do a remake, hopefully like a reboot of the trilogy, the 1, 2, and 3 Prime.
Yeah.
And I would definitely get that in a heartbeat. That, Metroid 4, and then I also want Super Mario Brothers Wii U.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so it's basically like the original Mario Brothers, but it's 3D characters. And there's so many things going on the screen. It's sort of like Donkey Kong Country when it was remade for the...
I want to get that, because I used to really like Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo.
And they have it already. It's out already.
Yeah, I want to get that Tropical Blast on the Switch, but I'm not paying...
Yeah, $59.
Yeah, whatever.
And that's the weird thing with Nintendo that I've noticed. Their prices don't come down. Okay, so Grand Theft Auto, I know it's been maybe a year or two. That's a bad example. What was the one that just came out recently? And that's like $20 now. Or $30. God of War, the new one.
Yeah.
You can get that for like $30-something now when it's on sale. And it's the games for these other systems go down so fast, but Nintendo, they don't have the same sales as these places. That's what it seems like to me.
It's strange, isn't it? There's one game I'm looking at now called, which is out on the Switch, called Yomawari Midnight Shadows.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's like a Japanese RPG, but it's like a horror one, like a survival horror one.
Yeah.
But it's costs like £30 or something for the Switch, but you can get it. In fact, I've got it on my laptop, or at least a version of it, which I paid about £3-4 for.
Yeah.
But as much as I want to sort of play it on the Switch, I'd love to play it on the Switch.
Is it an indie game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a famous. The graphics on it are beautiful. It's one of them.
Yeah, because I know that they're having a sale. When I went onto the actual Switch console, they have those boxes that show you what they're selling.
Yeah.
And they're having a sale on a lot of indie games. I saw one there for like 45 cents.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I was saying to myself, this is Nintendo.
That's fantastic. I'd love to. Get one of these games or something. But I tend to buy them and never play on them. I bought, anyway, the last one I bought for the Switch, I played it for about 5 hours, and I've not played it since.
I think I remember that one. You were posting about it. It was like a horror one.
Yeah, and it looks really cool. And it is good. It's a great game. It's just I've not had really much time to play on it. Writing's just taken over everything.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny thing actually. Since I've gone off Twitter.
Yeah.
And I post here and there. I still come on. I'm not like bothering too much with just hanging on there all the time. My mind has freed up, right? I'm writing a lot more. I'm having all these thoughts, and I'm getting a lot of ideas come to me, right? And I'm writing more actual writing than what I was before. I also have time to mess around with the games, even if it's 15 minutes here and there. Even reading. Like I started reading Strange Weather. from Joe Hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying other things we're supposed to be doing. To be honest with you, when I play video games, I get ideas. Ideas come to me. There was I don't know. Have you ever played God of War?
I've not. No, I've never really. I used to have an Xbox 360, but I've never had an Xbox One or beyond. The only next gen console I've got is the Switch.
Well, it started with the PlayStation 2.
Did it?
Yeah. And basically, there's a scene in there where Kratos comes up to this guy who's digging a grave. And he says, "What are you doing?" And he's, they back and forth. But basically, you move on. The guy keeps digging the grave. And then the next stage, you go down to hell. Hades, right? So you have to get yourself out of hell. So you literally, at the end of that stage, you're climbing out of hell. When you get out of that hell, you come out of that grave that guy was digging. And that part gave me so much feeling. It gave me such a inspiration. You can gain, the stories are great on some of these games, and it's just like reading a book. It's not just mindless video games where it's actually it gives you ideas. Yeah. So
well, at the moment I'm kind of working on a story that I sent to an invite anthology, and the guy who's the editor has got back to me and said he likes it and he's put it on a shortlist, but suggested some improvements to it. So it makes me laugh when editors are really polite and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, would you mind sort of, considering improving these areas?" Like, yeah, of course I would. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind. I'm not. Obviously I'm precious of my work, but if someone thinks I can improve it to fit in line with the rest of their anthology, then yeah, absolutely. I don't mind putting time into it.
Well, I know what you mean.
That's what we're doing.
I think we've gotten to the point where somebody gives us criticism, we don't take it to heart. We look at it and say, you're right. That could make this sound better. And I guess that's where the whole thick skin thing comes in. And
rejection's all part of it. But I got a little bit annoyed a while ago, and I might have already mentioned this on one of our episodes, when one of the publishers I'd submitted to put me on a shortlist, said how much they liked it, and then they had hold of the story for 6 months before telling me actually it never made the grade, and they just by telling me they literally sent me a form of rejection in the end, just sort of like it didn't fit in with the rest of the and it's like, hang on a minute, no, you've had me on hold for 6 months, you sent me a personal email saying we'd love your story, we're putting it on a shortlist. Don't wait 6 months and then send me another email like a clear cookie cutter form of rejection.
Yeah.
Just basically throw me out of the way. It was really unfair, because it's a story that I'm very proud of, and it's still a story that's not been picked up. But I was like, oh man, damn it! I took that a little bit to heart, but it was just the nature of it as opposed to the rejection.
I just finished. Ooh, I finished off the second season of The Walking Dead. I was holding on to it for a couple of weeks because, you don't have any new episodes until like February. But it was pretty good. One main character died. A lot of predictable things happened. Obviously, the Whisperers were the biggest part of it, and the one that's playing the really big Whisperer, if anybody's read the comic book, in the comic, Negan gets out of the prison and he meets one of these guys. He's like, "Wow, you're a big guy." That guy is being played by the character that plays Opie in Sons of Anarchy. The really big guy with he gets...
I think I know what you mean. I've not watched Sons of Anarchy, but I think I know
Oh, okay. Well, whoever's watched it, he's the guy who gets... Well, let me not even ruin that. But he's the big guy he's the one that acts like a brother to Jax. And yeah, he's supposedly, from what I understand, he's playing one of the Whispers. But when you heard them whispering, saying, "Get them, don't let them get away," it really makes sense now, because they kill one of them and they take off the zombie like skin off his face, and they actually wear the zombie's skin to walk around with. I guess why they call them the Whispers. So that's going to be the next half a season. You'll be seeing the Whisperers coming around.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to go, man.
All right, man.
That time again. Nice talking to you again, and see you next week.
See you next week.